Hey guys, Corey with Hardcore Off-Road. Today I'm going to show you, I guess, our 2nd gen Xterra DIY rock slider kit. This is exactly how the kit will come. I don't have the bolts out. They will be included. I don't have them set out right now. And actually I got ahead of myself and I welded these end caps on. Normally they're just laying beside it or in the kit for you to weld them on and then grind them off. That's the first step. It makes it easier to grind it off that way. But obviously it comes with the instructions, your top plates, your bent tubes, your main tubes, your legs, and all your mounting plates and backing plates. So it's a real simple kit to put together, and I will show you how to do that right now. So I'm gonna set this stuff aside because I got a little a little ahead of myself before I decided to make the video. So I actually put one together, or started to put one together already. Now, all we do is take our main bar and our bent bar and just center it. So should have about 3/4 of an inch on each side here. And then our center plate here, we just find the center of our bar and the center of our center plate and lay it in there. And I like to, it recesses down in a little bit. As you can see, there's about 1/4 inch under there. Just lay a square or straight edge across there, get it flat. And I like to weld from the bottom, just makes it look a little bit cleaner. But you can do that however you want. Really, I just kind of spot weld them in from the bottom. Now that we got that, what we need to do, you got to do these opposites. So this will be, say, your left side, the other one's going to be your right side. So we just measure from one end. The measurements are in the directions: 19.5 inches, 35.5 inches, and then 52 3/4. And now we take our legs and they will slide right into it. Again, this is all laying flat on a table. So our legs slide straight into it. That our marks at 19.5, 35.5, and 52 3/4 are all in the center of our tube. So you center them, square them, tack them into place. Alright, so our legs are tacked into place. Now, I'll say it again to make sure, because I've done it several times, more than I'd like to admit myself. You gotta make sure you do them opposite directions. So, our other slider is gonna come this way. So as you do it, alright, you measure in from one end. Now, if this is laying here, so say you're laying them both on the table, so this side here, you'll come in your 19.5 and work this way. On this one here, start on the other opposite end and measure in and work that way. That way, when you take it off and flip it around, you'll have one go in each direction. Again, done that more times than I'd like to admit, so be careful of it. All right, and now we weld our base plates on. Now these are just, your bolt holes will go up. I like to, just to make it a little bit easier, there should be a 1/4 inch gap, weld face the whole way around here. So to make that easy to do, just measure up from the bottom 2 inches on every one of them. So there's your 2 inches. Now, all we've got to do with this, place it on there, put it on the edge of your table so it hangs down over, and square that up. I usually just put 1 tack on the top to start with. Just make sure everything is square because that will help it line up and go in. You put 1 tack up here, you square it off your table so it's straight up and down that way. And with 1 tack up there, you can square it this way. If you got tap the top of it in or out, it gives you movement to do so. If you get too many tacks on there right off the bat, you can't move it around. So, they're all, our 2-inch mark is right on the top of our tubing. Sorry about the air compressor, but they're all square. Now we can go and tack them in together. Turn the air compressor off. Now that they're in, we got our little corner braces. Just a pair of pliers or whatever makes this so much easier. It doesn't really matter which side you put them on. I just like to keep them all the same way. But they just go down the corner or along the side and along the side of your tubing. Real nice and easy. Alright, that is 1 slider. So they are real easy to do. Now, because you welded everything on the top side, I like to flip it over and weld this side here. So we'll go through and weld just 1 direction on each side here, and then I flip it over, weld the other side on the opposite side. So if I weld, say this tube here, I'll weld here. Once I flip it over, I'll weld this bottom side here. And then I let the thing completely cool, and then come back and do that again. So we'll run through and weld 1 side here, just show you how I'm doing it. Okay, so as you can see, when I welded, because I flipped it, I weld that side there and that side there. keeps it from pulling so much as it cools. Now I will let this thing cool, go on to the other side generally. I'm going to show you though, so I don't make this video so much longer than it has to be. We'll just set that aside. Said I'm going to do the other one next, but I'll just show you how to throw these together real quick. They're real simple. Easiest way to do them. We got the included nuts with them. They just sit in there, and then we just get a big hammer. Sorry, I don't know what this is going to do. Camera's sitting on the table. So we just tap them in. If you tap them down with a big enough hammer, guess it doesn't take a lot of force, but they're really snug in there. They will sit flush on the back side there. So then we just weld around the front. All right, now it's warm, but see, we just weld around the front, leave the back side open, that's flush. These will slide up on the inside of your frame rail, and the slider will bolt through from the outside. Doesn't really matter how they go. This teardrop or handle that I'm holding on to is just something to help you tighten them up. When we do send these out, there are going to be 5 longer bolts and 1 shorter bolt. That shorter bolt goes into one of these on the, let's see, your driver's side rear, where your fuel tank is. So it's just a little bit shorter so that bolt does not stick out and poke through your fuel tank. So that's basically it. We got 3 more of them to make up and 1 more slider. But you can see it's not very hard at all to do. When we do our other one, we're just going to start measuring from this direction instead of up here, and that'll give us the opposite side. Pretty simple. They bolt right on.